we're getting things on the boat, it feels more real, like we're actually going to go soon. So.
With 8 people, you eat quite a lot, and we have actually sailed with this crew before, and they are big munchers.
The journey we're going on is 21 days. We're going to Gia, Mull, Skye and Lewis to meet the kind of local residents. We're also meeting like artists and trading stories, so that's kind of the idea, going from the inner city out to the rural parts.
I'm interested in the community aspect. I have a degree in sustainable development myself, and I'm hoping to see firsthand the way that natural resources can be used for the community, and the other side is the filmmaking side. It's up to us to find and interview people and the places we visit, hear their stories and learn from them.
So we'll have a port watch at the bow, one on the boat, one off the boat, one with a roving fender, same at the back with the starboard watch.
I'm from Paisley, and I left school, I joined the army, and then after that it's just kind of factory work I've been doing. At the moment, but I'm unemployed. It's really hard to get a job in Paisley, you know what I mean? It could be good to get away from that kind of aspect of things and just not worry about it for 21 days, so it's like peace for me, really.
Well, I've come from South Africa, in Durban, and I've been here for a year and 6 months. My dad thought it was safer for us, my family, and I'd be able to get a job and go to university, and he didn't believe that I'd be able to do that there. I like the freedom I have here. Like, I'd never caught a bus before until I moved here. I've no experience, no sailing whatsoever, but I want to learn how to sail and put those sails up.
I went to university in St Andrews, and I studied biochemistry there, and I haven't actually had any sailing experience. I've done a day sailing in the Lake District, so I don't really know what I'm letting myself in for, but I've just jumped in feet first.
Left school and went straight to uni, doing computer animation and multimedia, so still looking for a job in the multimedia field hopefully, but trying to get a job's a bit worrying now.
We're filling in the logbook. We're taking the wind direction, our position on the GPS, latitude and longitude.
I'm really nervous actually. I think it's just the thought of living 3 weeks in a boat with 7 people that I don't know very well. Because I'm social, but I really like my own space.
I only saw the boat for the first time yesterday, and really I said, is that it? Because it looks very small, but I think I'll be okay though.
There's not much space, but people have been through worse. I think we'll manage. It's not as bad as a submarine or anything.
A lot of challenges that I think personally I'm going to have to do is, well, the main one I'm worried about is actually the cooking. I've not really had much experience doing that. Stayed at home, so I always had my mum doing that for me. So I've got to learn to cook for the whole crew of like 6, 7 people. Not too worried about the sailing part, 'cause I've done a fair bit of that. So
I think it's going to be a bit of a mental challenge actually. 21 days aboard the boat with everybody, know what I mean?
The only concerns I have, I suppose, is not getting too seasick as we get through the mouth of the Clyde. But I think a few ginger biscuits down me, I'll be okay.
Yeah. Hands up the starboard watch. Hands up the port watch. Hands up! What I'm looking for is weather that isn't insane to sail in, and also fair winds to take us in the direction we want to go without tacking towards the wind that's coming against you. And where we go will be determined by the weather. I mean, I know already that we've got some great crew, and I hope that they gel well. I think the qualities you need are to have a certain amount of self-discipline, positivity, ability to carry out jobs without question, really. They have to be mentally tough, really, or they have to start to learn to be a wee bit mentally tough in terms of sleep. The sleep can be quite difficult when you're underway. After 3 days or so, it probably will get a bit easier because you just become so tired that you sleep.
How do you like your tea? Too sugary, isn't it?
As you can see, the crew morale's high in the morning.
The last few days were more about getting settled and kind of just finding our way as a team. It was our first main stop off, Gia, which so far I've found one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen. I think it's an astounding island. I haven't even explored half of it yet, but the people have been lovely. The sun's out, it's glorious. Such a nice relaxing atmosphere.
In my lifetime I've discovered a certain proverb I heard many years ago: the land divides, the sea unites. And I'm convinced that's true. The sea does unite. When you're all there, you're a team. One day you're at the chart room, next day you're scrubbing the deck, washing dishes in the garden. It's a great leveller, no big shots. The Isle of Gia heritage trust. Trust is a key word. Trust and believe in one another and the reason you're doing it. And while we're going along this path in life is to keep the excitement, the passion, and the young ones can pick up this also. That's one of the key things. You must get the young ones interested.
What attracted me personally was the fact that it was a community that was taking charge of its own future and who were taking practical steps on the ground to make sure that this has a sustainable future as a community. I mean, ultimately, as the owners of the island, the community has an enormous amount of influence.
I think obviously community buyout benefits here because prior to the community buyout there wasn't the chance to build any businesses on the island or anything like that. You weren't allowed to do bed and breakfast, anything like that in the island. So I think there's probably more employment possibilities now. You know, a lot of new businesses created since the community buyout, which perhaps wouldn't have been allowed beforehand.
The fact that they really do listen to the people on the island and their trust that they've put together, I really value that because that's something that we moved away from South Africa because it wasn't successful. Sailing during the night time was the scariest thing because things looked further away than they actually were. For my first experience it was terrifying because like the first time they gave me the helm and we were obviously on our side.
Yeah, what tacking is when the wind's against you, you can't go against it, you have to go that way and that way and that way and that way, and it takes forever. It's hard work, and that's why we're having our best.
Wait, I need to change octaves because it only goes up to C. This is what we call a rapid show.
I feel like I've learnt a lot already. I'm by no means up to speed with the rest of, or with everyone else pretty much, but I'm getting a lot better. I don't like being at the helm when we're tacking because every time that we kind of go at a strange angle, I worry that I'm doing something wrong and that everyone's going to die.
Now we're just heading up the Sound Mall, going towards Tobermory, trying to get a bit north. Not a lot of wind going on there now, so we get the engine on. Just came from Oban. It's been 1 week, but it feels like I've been here for ages now. Highlights so far. Sailing wise, like doing a lot of the navigation still, so and been made first mate. Low point, being bossed about by Sam, I suppose, when he's been in a bad mood. Probably shouldn't say that, but yeah, and having to clean up after everyone. But we're all chipping in, I suppose.
Dead ahead. Off to port. More to port. A lot more to port.
We're the Tobermory Arts Centre. We've been running a programme of music and visual arts. We've got a nice wee gallery and try and bring some great people, inspire everybody who lives here. I think we're a central part of the local community here. We've always seen that the place is for the local community first and the wider artistic community, rather than being essentially a visitor attraction.
Hi Ed, how you feeling?
Alright, shit day yesterday, never forget it.
Why was it a shit day yesterday?
I wrecked the food and...
what was that?
I wrecked the food.
You wrecked the food?
I ran out of batteries, I had a pitch interview, and I wasn't good back.
It's July 27th. High tide's 8:30.
It's 2 night sails we've done, and they've been pretty steep. I'm absolutely shattered actually, I've slept all day, but we've had issues, but you can't really highlight them or go on about it because you just got to grit your teeth, and you've still got another week and a half to go.
I suppose if there is a bit of tension or whatever, it's when it comes down to when it's your duty, your turn to do something, you have to work together, so you have to overcome that and move forward.
Smooth water, 12 knots of wind, perfect. The best place in the world for sailing, probably. Certainly when it's like this.
You okay, yeah? Yeah. But don't worry about it tipping over because it shouldn't do. It will never do, but it shouldn't do because the weight of the keel will bring the yacht back.
Northwest 4 or 5. Becoming variable 2 or 3. Occasionally 4. The sea state moderate or rough. The weather mainly fair. Visibility good.
The weather been alright?
Yeah, very nice. Fantastic.
Has it, yeah?
Yeah, I think we've won a bit of rain. The making of the film, for me personally, gives me a way to go away and do something. It gives me escape from being on the boat. It gives me artistic escape because being on the boat is quite physical and mental, but it's not artistic in any way.
The similarities between filmmaking and sailing is teamwork. People have different jobs to do, they have to know their jobs and to get the results they want.
Can you tell us a bit about the work you're doing and how you're involved?
We're doing Gaelic songwriting workshops on the islands. We see our mission as encouraging and teaching people how to actually get the music written and we record it, and the real joy is in seeing that process result in songs that they and their community can be proud of. You know, any of the arts can offer people something really useful in island living. You know, city living is much less predictable and there's more variety, so you need these kinds of form of escapism, and I think if it's through music or literature it can be a really beneficial thing. You know, there's these are real hotbeds of inspiration. The scenery, the landscape, the seascape, the local people, all of these things are material for great art. So I think we're trying to encourage people both to recognise that and feed into that tradition, because if you don't add to a tradition, it stagnates and dies, and we don't want to see that happen.
Today we're in Stornoway at last, our last destination. Isn't it just sensational? We've paid a visit to the Arts Centre and Lanterre, and we met Moira MacDonald, who laid on just a buffet lunch for us. It was just marvellous.
It's only something simple like soup and sandwiches, but it's the hospitality makes you feel more welcome than just turning up with a camera pointing it in somebody's face. It was quite good to get welcomed that way.
Well, Lanterre's a multi-art form venue, so we've got a strong performing arts programme and a visual arts programme. We do a lot of workshops in Lanterre, which is the arts centre within Stornoway, and also outside in a lot of community venues and schools and day centres, enabling people to be creative and make things that they're interested in and help people to engage on their terms.
And Lanterre's the most amazing arts centre. It actually makes me think, because I'm from a small town and we need something like Lanterre in Glasgow. And I thought, how would that work? Could we do it? They have a cinema and auditorium in there, as well as art exhibitions. And Moira does fantastic work up there.
We've recently started a film club. The whole idea is that we've got a lot of young people coming who will become young programmers. They're watching films together in Lanterre, and then they're discussing them with filmmakers and with people who can give a little bit of insight into some of the issues covered in the films.
It's amazing that you travel hundreds of miles and realise they've got slightly similar challenges to what my generation faces in Glasgow, but that they're trying the same methods to fix them, and that for me is an eye-opener. I feel like we've all put our all into doing the double job of filming and sailing at the same time. No mean feat when we have a 30-degree tilt in the high winds. When we do get the sailing in, it's no picnic.
The main challenges for the group have been the length of the passages, and because they may be very tired, they may be less enthusiastic, having been up all night, having to do domestics on top of that, having to keep the place tidy, having to think about navigation, and it's a very challenging timetable, but they've all actually done very well, and there have been no exceptions on that at all.
Personal challenges, waking up and not being able to go for a shower when I want to. Waking up at 12 o'clock, waking up in general.
I've never been very good at timekeeping myself, so obviously I can't think of a severer challenge than doing the graveyard shifts.
It's mostly been interpersonal things that have been the most difficult for me. I mean, living on 3 weeks in a boat with these amount of people, it's difficult. You're going to have a difference in opinion.
We've had the odd day where the atmosphere's been a wee bit trying for people, whether it's me moaning at them or moaning at each other a bit, people maybe not pulling their weight here and there, or certainly perceived as that.
Everyone has actually just been lovely, apart from Sam. But Danny's the skipper, and I think he thinks that he's motivating us.
Right, take it back down again, because it's going to be pitching like that, right? I'm the big bad wolf, which is entirely the way it should be on a boat anyway. You have to have that sort of, you do have to ask for things constantly to be done in whatever way possible. If you can get it done politely, through doing it politely, great, and if you can't, then they have to up the ante a wee bit.
I suppose if there's a bit of tension, 1 minute we're kind of narky or whatever, or feeling down, it could be as simple as we hang a porpoise coming over in the water or something, that everybody's like, oh look. It just kind of brings you a wee bit closer, you know what I mean? And then you kind of forget about it and then just move on.
sailing, I've like learned a lot more kind of how to give like orders out. Been quite bossy. A lot of them, I don't know how they've got on with that. They've just understood that I have to be bossy when Sam's kind of told me to take over at times. So doing a lot more kind of boat maintenance as well. So hopefully try and get a good job doing that if I don't get anything doing skipper-wise.
I was thinking about becoming an outdoor pursuits instructor, so I'd like to do more sailing and become more confident. I think it would give me a lot more options.
It's character building. It's a great opportunity to learn how to sail, interact with different people.
Can you sit down, please? Being on the boat, it gave you a bit of respect for having to combine both sailing and filmmaking. And I've been away from uni now for the past year, took a year out to do more filming. So I'm feeling a bit more confident. And it's also memories, like inspiration for the future.
I think it's basically good for younger people to get a bit of teamwork, a bit of responsibility. So it's kind of showed me and gave me an interest and get some qualifications and stuff like that. It'd be nice to pass a wee bit on maybe to kind of younger generation. Because there is some people that can't afford to go sailing, and that would be good to know that you're actually passing on useful skills that could maybe help them for the rest of their life.
It'll certainly be a confidence boost to me, and whatever I face in the future, it'll probably spur me on to push myself a bit more.
Wow thing! You make my heart sing! You make everything groovy!